Hello there, welcome back. So currently I am standing in a world painter map that I made this morning or this afternoon, or I guess this afternoon, that kind of works. I want to do something a little bit different today. Now I'm sorry if you see a little lag in this video. I'm trying to fix that. I'm trying to get some new RAM soon. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. This is a world painter map that I spent a lot of time working on. As you can see, it is fairly big. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fill this whole thing in. I probably won't because it's pretty massive, but I'm not going to get overestimated or get a little scared of the size. Let me lead you through what I want to do today. Basically, I had this idea while I was at work, right? For this like thing, the City in Red is what I've called it. And that sounds like a pretty cool name. In my opinion, it was just like the first name I thought of, and I was like, okay, this kind of works. So what is the City in Red? The City in Red is a city that was controlled by gangs, mobs, you know, those guys, but it's all retired mob leaders who are really successful, wanted to get away from the law, so they went to this island that they all collectively bought. And they go to this island, and it's all the different separate styles and peoples that come together into this one area. And the laws of this area are you cannot commit crime in this area, otherwise the gangs will bring their wrath down on you. And that's kind of the theme of the area. As for like styles, I want it to be very mishmashy, which could be really cool. And it's kind of just like a theme off the bat. There's no ideal or like specific thing we're going for. We're just going for a feel here, right? We're going for this place that's a bit dirty, a little broken down, but there's genuine heart here. It's a utopia, but it doesn't look like one. I've got loads of ideas for it, but first of all, I think we just need to work on like some silhouettes, because I want it to have a cool skyline, a cool feel when you're walking around this area. So I'm gonna get out some wool. I'm gonna mark that out, and then I'm going to bring you back to show you a little bit of where I plan to go with this. I will not lie to you, this is a very ambitious project. You'll remember these paths that I've put everywhere, these blue and yellow and just a wide variety of colours. These yellow paths are the main bit I want you to follow. They're the bit that everyone's going to be walking along, and most of the time that's what you're going to be going across, right? These are the areas where people will most likely congregate. Now, the idea behind this city is that it's very cramped, and that's not such a bad thing. I mean, obviously, you look at places like the Kowloon City, right? No rules. This place is in anarchy, right? So people just build however they want. They want housing to be right next to each other. They make them right next to each other, even if the living conditions are a little subpar. But this isn't bad. This for what we have here, this is actually pretty cool. I like the outer view of the city more than the inner one, because you get this cool like stretching feeling, and this is how the buildings should look in the end. Now, right now, as you can probably tell, they're all only boxes, and I want to do more shaping and give it better vibe of what we're doing with this. But to start off, I want to start with something a little more easy. So for this area, I'm thinking this is the American district, right? This is where the Americans are at. This is where they live. As far as it goes, as I mentioned before, I probably won't cover all this land. Considering how big it is, look how massive this map is I made. I made a smaller one originally, and I thought, hey, this isn't going to be a big enough one, so I'll make it 3 times the size. Poor, that's a little daunting, isn't it? This is going to be a lot of work for me to do in the next 2 days, which will be insane. So I don't know how long this is going to take me. I was this is a super ambitious project, I won't even lie. So I'm walking through the city right now, and I've done a lot of detailing. Oh, I shot up just then, didn't I? What I've done is I basically inset most of the roofs. I've covered up most of the holes, or all of the holes, sorry, in the buildings. And I think I'm going to log off for today. And that's a weird thing for me, because usually I'm the type of person who just jumps onto World and I just kind of bang it out in one day. But right now, I'm kind of exhausted and my mental fumes are really running on low, because if you're wondering what those are, the game nearly crashed. I thought I had lost everything because of a bad command that I did where it didn't process. I made a mistake. Basically, I accidentally filled in the entire world with red wool, and it nearly crashed the game. I thought I destroyed everything, but luckily for me, I closed the game before the process finished, so we only have a couple of these to clear up. But now I'll leave them there as like a ominous reminder. Definitely not because I'm lazy. That's why I'm exhausted, because I thought that was going to happen. It didn't happen, luckily, but it's just completely worn me out, because I'm like, okay, good. I'm a little tired now. I'm going to log on tomorrow. I'm going to bang out a couple more things, and hopefully we can get the main shape done tomorrow. And then on Tuesday, I can hopefully figure out most of the details. I'm the type who locks in. I logged on, I locked in, and I finished a huge chunk of it. And then this morning I logged in again and I pretty much finished it. So I think if I go around now, except for this building is not done. I chose the one building that wasn't done. That's great, isn't it? That's great. I chose the one building that wasn't done. Anyways, let me just remove these yellow markers here from here. And I want you to look around this amazing little town. Now, obviously, the floor. Now, the floor is definitely the most detailed area because how I've been detailing it is I've been running through as like, okay, this is the main view where you're going to be seeing. So I've been running through like this. And when I see an area that doesn't have a lot of detail, I throw down a couple of cubes and like, okay, I'm going to throw some detail here. And like making it little areas like this where you can hide under from rain or whatever, and there's little houses, there's little open areas which I plan to expand further in the future. I should probably mention this too, this isn't a video that is definite that's going to happen, right? So if I want to complete this project, I'm definitely going to need to see that there's some support behind it. If you want to see this massive adventure map come into fruition, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever it is. Boost the video as much as you can. Show it to other people if you want, just so that this project can be completed, because I think it would be so awesome if we could create one of the biggest and most complex adventure maps ever made, and basically just make a massive open world where you can just explore and do what you want, while at the same time, you know, having your own stories, whether that's role play, whether that's doing little mini games around it, finding secrets and Easter eggs, whatever it is. Literally, I don't really mind. Just please, I beg of you, support this, because I think it'd be so cool. Anyway, this is what we've done. A heck of a lot of progress since last time. I can't go over all the details. Some buildings are less detailed, some buildings are more detailed, but overall it's got a really cool design. I'm going to finish off this building. One left to do, and then I can get onto the colouring of the whole area, where we can get like a vibe and the actual like feel, and then finally it'll be all the details. I'm really proud of this though. I think that I've done a lot of work on this and it looks really nice. Now, there is a lot that I could probably do with this, and I have to be careful not to just detail it to oblivion, otherwise I'll forget to do everything else. But I've tried to detail it as much as I could within the specific time frame. I've got 2 days to work on this. Today is day 1. I've got a little bit left of today, like another 3 or 4 hours, which is good. That gives me enough time to do maybe 1 or 2 more buildings, and then I can get to work on it tomorrow more. I'm lucky that I'm finished this so quickly today and yesterday. But this building's got a really cool design. I can go into the sort of the style of the city now. Now, as I think I said before that I wanted to be kind of mishmashy, right? But this here is going to be, I want to do something a little different. Towards the top, I'm going to go for oranges, yellows, and reds with the buildings. Sometimes you're going to break that pattern. Sometimes you're going to have greys, but mainly oranges, yellows, and reds. It's like yellow lorry, red lorry, isn't it? I'm just going like crazy here. I'm trying not making tongue twisters for myself. But the base of the city is going to have a very different feel. It's going to be blue. It's going to be grungy. It's going to be dark. And it's going to have these blue and black feels to them. And that's kind of being the difference. It's white and red, blue and black, and that's the feeling of the bottom, feeling of the tops. That way you have like a thing where you're constantly looking up, thinking, I want to be up there, but actually I'm down here. And that gives you time to explore and think about, how do you get up there? What ways are there to reach this higher area? Which there will be higher areas, there will be ways to reach them, but you just have to, you know, find your way around, find your way maybe on top of this rooftop, and maybe go to one of these areas, because these flags definitely aren't accidental walkways for you to walk on, and I just completely missed that jump because I do not know how to do parkour. Yeah, this is definitely not a little bit of an Easter egg up here where you can climb on top of the building and then you can run around and look how wonderful that is. Wonderful. Yeah, I've got some ideas also for like challenges and things, but right now I just need to complete these buildings. I think this one's pretty much complete now. I'm so tempted to try and fill in this whole thing with detail, but I know that would be a bad idea because I need to move on. And I've got so much I want to talk about too, but I can't. It's so stressful. I need to move on. I need to go and do other stuff. Maybe I'll time lapse it. Maybe I won't. Who knows? Let's see how this goes. I'm having so much fun with this. Okay, I made another building. I made something a little more gloomy this time around, a little bit more dingy, and that's this one here, right next to the original building over here. So basically it comes with this dark blue theme again. As you can see, I've used some of that button design again because I kind of like it. It kind of looks like a pin point thing. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but it's a design that I'm probably going to use quite a lot throughout the city. Adds a little bit more blue into the grey, which works really well, and it works especially well on this building here. I'm not sure I'm going to give it a name or anything that's specific about it yet, but if I was going to say anything, it's probably a mechanical factory. It like sells oil or whatever, or makes oil or pumps oil. I don't know. It's something to do with oil because of all the pipes, and I feel like there's a very steamy, hot environment out here. I built a car here, which looks really, really lovely. If you know me, you know I love building cars, and I absolutely adore this one. This is actually based off another design I did a while back where I built I didn't stop building for one day, and part of that build was a car, and basically the back bit was different but the front bit was the same, and I basically just copied this front bit in, changed it at the back, and made it look really, really lovely. Although I might have to change this bit here to add something a little bit more different in, like this. Maybe that would look nice, having a little stripe in. Oh, I like that. I think that looks nice. I might have to change it up just a tad, bring it forward just one block more. But I'm getting a little distracted, so I probably shouldn't do that right now because I'm starting to dislike that. I'll work on this more in a bit. Right now I'm getting distracted. But yeah, this looks really nice. I added more details. I had a little section here. The back of it isn't so much done, but that's probably for future me. Right now it works. It works for as it is. I'm gonna keep it stone at the back, like it hasn't been painted. Like this is the bit you're not supposed to see, even though the front isn't the most beautiful thing in the world either. But I think it works. It works for the design. It works for the area. I don't know what building I'm going to work on next, but as for progress today, I think we made quite a lot. We made good progress, and I really like this area to be finished first. So this walking around feels really cool because there's a couple areas in this map, or this section, I guess. This cube, this chunk that I want to finish first, and just get the vibes absolutely perfect. I want to get the dingy, dark, grungy feeling when you're on the ground, and that hopeful feeling that you get when you look up at something beautiful. Right now we're in the dark. Right now we're in the depths. But where we could be, up there, that's beautiful. That's where you want to be. And that's what I'm going to go for. La beauté que je te confère. This is the shot that I have been working on at the moment. Obviously, the rest of the build isn't done yet, and I'm on the second day. So this is really all I've got left. But I'm going to keep on trying, and if I can't do it, I'm going to do it on my editing day and then edit on the day when the video is supposed to come out, which might be a little difficult, but we'll see when it comes to that. Anyways, this is the shot I've been working on, the point of view where you can't see any of the red and you just keep on walking through. And I really like this. And there's this whole area back here that's done too, except there's still quite a bit that needs to be done in this area. But these buildings, they look really, really nice. But out of all the buildings I've actually finished and areas that I've done, I think these are my favorite so far, just because of that alleyway shot and that final building shot where you get to see a bit of the window, you see a bit of that. It just feels very realistic, like you really are in a back alley here. It's not like, it doesn't feel like, you know, a Minecraft map. It feels like a back alley, which is what I was going for, which I'm really, really happy with. And about up there, I'm going to do more of these like cross section things, whether it's ropes or pipes or even some wires connecting, like cable wires. That could look really, really nice. So I want to do something like that up there. But you've got this dingy look. As I said before, I wanted to go dark blues and browns and things like that on the bottom. Well, not so much browns, but you know, you need a little variety in there. But yeah, mainly dark blues and things. There's also a bit of an Easter egg here, if you can catch it. And yeah, this just looks really, really lovely. I've done a lot with these buildings. I really like this one too. This is a building that I'm really, really proud of. I think that this one's a more like subtle in the background window, not so much an in your face, look at me, look at the color, but like the things like the windows being these really small, dainty things. Ah, that looks lovely. And this building here just is a bit nuts, I'll give it that, but the pipe work and everything looks lovely. Brilliant, smashing. One thing I'm definitely finding difficult with this is the motivation aspect, because I mentioned this in one of my older videos, not older, around a couple months ago, and it was when I built 6 different bases in the course of a week. When you're building in lots of different styles and colors and you're just building in one different building one after the other, it's like, for me at least, I mean for some people it might be really, really easy, but for me, I find that really, really difficult because you have to start a new project every single time. And I think I mentioned it in my newest video, actually, the SMP one, was that when I make something, usually I build it and then I'm done for the week. That's it. That's all I have to do. And then my mind switches off. So I find that pattern really easy. But for this one, I'm going in, I'm building one, and then I have to get the motivation to build another, and then another, and then another. And once I start, and eventually that starts to wear down my mind, and I really want to create things that look good, right? So each time that I'm making something, I have to take a break after making it because I'm like, I want the next thing I make to look really, really good, and I don't want it to look a bit rubbish. So that's why I'm working on this one right now. I've got the color scheme down finally. I think that's why these buildings generally, I mean, I made a city build once in the past, and all the buildings kind of look kind of samey. Uh, it got 54,000 views, so apparently I did something right. But with this build here, I'm trying to look different for every build. Use a different color scheme, use a different vibe for every single building, which I think I have done pretty accurately. If you look around, you know, that one's wood, that one's grey, that one's red and orange, that one's a pale, broken, almost like lawyer office in the 1950s style, and that's like a pipe factory. And then you've got this big orange building, and now we've got like a more pale but refined building, I guess you could call it. This will be like a parking garage. It seems very parking garage-esque. But either way, this looks really, really cool. I like all the vibes of it. One thing I will say is in the future, I won't be building out the city like this. I'm imagining this is like a town center right now, where you've got like shops and all types of things down here. But as we stretch out further into the city, it's going to be, I hope to do, if I continue this, I hope to do one big area per project. So instead of like a ton of buildings, it would be the factory that goes here, or the dock area that goes there, and I'd be working on one build project at a time, so I wouldn't have to go through the strain of building different thing every single time, and that would make it really difficult. Instead, I'd be building a different thing every other week, and then I'd be like, okay, cool, brilliant, that looks amazing, and now I have a place to go from here, which is really, really good. And that would, I think that would actually speed up the process a lot more, because I'd be able to get into the vibe of what I'm doing. But the vibe of this city so far, minus that red thing here, it feels very cool. Feels like it's actually in a city. It just has a kind of eminence about it, a cool like feeling, which I'm trying to get here. That feeling, that vibe, that thing where you walk into an area and you suddenly feel, oh, you get a chill because it's different. It's something you recognize, and that's what I want to emulate here. You know, it's just going to try my hardest. After I've done this, I don't know what I'm going to do next. So maybe this building, maybe not, but we'll see where we go from here. This looks really cool. So look at this. Oh, I'm not going to lie to you. This was intense. This taking me a couple of days now. I think I'm at like, I don't know how many hours. I think I can estimate if I go on my statistics. It should say something like time since last airtime with World Open, 1.15 days. Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot. 1.15 days is like, I don't know, 26 hours, something like that I've been doing this week. Anyways, I'm working on this, right? I'm doing this incredibly. This took a really, really long time. You can walk around the whole thing now, which is really cool. I've still got a lot of the minor details you can do, because if you walk through it, there's not a whole lot going on with the ground, and there's not a whole lot of dirt and grime and just stuff to make you feel like you're in the area. So I've still got to work on that. But if we go and do that overhead view now, you can see everything that we've made. I'm going to show you what my favorite building is in a minute, because I gave it a little thought and I know what I'm going to do with this now. This here is like the town center, and then as it branches off more, it will become more sparse, and I'll have like a road maybe wrapping around here somewhere. And you know, when I finally get around to it, if I do, and if you give me enough reason to, then I'll just spend so much time making this, and you'll see a really, really cool project. But if I do, then I'll make a road that wraps around it, and then it will stretch out further. I'm going to show you my favorite building. This one next to me is my favorite building. It's the purple one. And this here is my second favorite because it's just smaller. But if this wasn't existing, then this would be my favorite because I love the amount of detail on this. But it took me so long to get the JPO chemicals building right that I just love it so much. And it's just this texture here that I really like. This mix gives off a weird like purpley orange vibe, and I just like that. I don't know how to explain it, but it just feels very, very like well textured. And it's the roofs too. They've got that cool like mold on them and things. It feels like a really well made building, which is kind of what I wanted. Secondly, my second favorite building is this one here. I've done a lot with the textures, trying to get it look perfectly right. I tried to like make a actual direction for the light, so the light was coming from there all the way and down this direction. So you'll see that more if you see all the lines are going in this direction. I tried a little bit with this building too, but mainly with this one. And frankly, even though it's a light thing, even though it's a very slight texture, I think it helps with the building like massively. Just look at that texture. That That looks so cool. So just realized while I was editing this that that light is going in the completely wrong direction. And using ladders and textures to transition between oak. I can't believe I've never thought of that before. That's so cool. I'm going to use that so much in the future. Oh, I am so glad we've done so much here. I can't show you everything because there is a lot, but this is really cool. I don't know how laggy this video is going to be, so sorry if it is. I'm looking into getting new RAM now. I've got an idea of what I have to get now because I'm not a tech guy. I don't know tech so well, so I have to do a lot of research before I can even begin to buy stuff. So yeah, that's what I did research. Anyway, moving back on, I've done all the minor details now. I don't think there's any bits in the map where you can go around and see something that you might have missed. Maybe there is, maybe I'm going crazy, but yeah, if we look from above now, you can look over here. We've got all our posters in place, which is just these like gradients and just, yeah, they're very basic. They're not anything specific. They've got cool designs on them, just little fun things I thought would look nice while going around. So that's what I've done, and I think that makes the whole area finally feel complete. This whole map in general, it's really awesome. I'm really glad I got to work on this. Forget about that area that isn't detailed yet. How about we just detail this now while we talk? I'm really happy with what we've done, right? So I really hope that you guys liked it too. I really hope you want to see something cool like this in the future and you want to see me continue make this. If you do, like, subscribe, do whatever you'd really want to. Let's go for what? No, let's go for Crimson. Yeah, if you want to see more stuff like this in the future, like and subscribe. Leave a comment, definitely. Say like, I want to see this added to the city. I want to see that added to the city. All of the things that are related to the video, that would be awesome. Because then we can get like some cool view stats, some just everything that might help push the video a little further and get like this project on like a more of a big roll. I'm really tired right now. I've just gotten back from work, so I'm a little bit out of it. So I'm just trying to just finish this off, make some cool stuff, try not to be tired. This is actually a really cool project and I'm really proud of everything we've done. So I just need to find a place to end this thing, something that might look nice, something with a good background shot. How would we do it here? Yeah, this looks nice. Anyways, everybody, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you in another video. You know what to do. Yeah, everything else, I'm gonna go sleep now. Probably. Maybe. No, I'm gonna watch Captain America Winter Soldier probably. I don't know, maybe. Whew, I am out of it today, aren't I?